이번 때가 쟁쟁한 선수들이 너무 많아서 결승에 진출하리라고는 예상은 하지 못했어요. 네.
중현이를 4강에서 만나서 결승 힘들어 보였는데 이렇게 이겨서 너무 기뻐요.
첫 경기였던 정정현 선수와의 경기가 가장 걱정이 됐었어요. 최대한 안전하게 하려고 했고 또 그게 잘 먹혀들었던 것 같아요.
많이 남아있으면 바퀴를 눌러준다거나 뭐 이런 식으로 소비하고 한 번에 다수의 무리군주를 준비하였으니 그런 체제도
화염차만 제거하고 바퀴를 뒤로
자, 일단 그래도 콘솔만 많이 줄여냈고요.
자, 앞쪽에는
그냥 만들어내기 쉽지 않아요.
네, 박수!
자, 본진 안쪽까지 바퀴로 들어와 있고 체제.
이동영 선수 맵이 너무 안 좋아가지고요. 스트레스 굉장히 많이 받았거든요. 그래서 뭘 할까 계속 고민하다가 경기 전날까지도 못 정했어요.
펑크가 2개라서
한번 파괴당하지 않는 거니까.
맹독충! 비탈리스 공격. 맹독충 여기서 또 폭살을 당합니다. 자,
부하장 파괴!
코드를 잡아주고 있습니다. 자, 이 병력이라도 완전히 여기는 핵성 요새가 뻔히 버티고 있기 때문에 GG.
가장 중요했었던 그 조별리그 마지막 경기 장민철 선수와의 경기에서 지면 탈락이고 이기면 1위 진출이라는 그런 희비가 엇갈리는 상황이라서 정말 마지막 순간까지 전 그 다음 라운드 갈 거라고 생각합니다.
일단은 가면된 테란을 좀 소환하면서
그래도 박수호 선수의 병력이 조금 부족해 보입니다. 예, 그 비탈리스트를 그냥 다 잃어버린 것이 너무 아쉽게 작용을 하고 있네요.
이미 지금 박서 선수가 11시
근데 양쪽으로 갈리다 보니까
그래서
제재.
굉장히 힘들었어요. 저에 대해서 너무 잘 알고 있고 제 약점을 또 너무 잘 알더라고요. 얘기를 들어보니까 그 선수랑 하면 이상하게 꼬여요, 경기가.
근데 이게 자리 잡는 최동 선수 방역인데요. 자, 최동 선수. 최동 선수. 네. 자, 그래도 업그레이드. 최동 선수 마지막 병력 이끌고 중앙 좀 밀어버리는 움직임을 하지만 시제.
풀세트까지는 아직 생각도 안 하고 왔고요. 근데 마지막 세트는 연습도 안 했고 2대1로 밀리고 있는 상황에서 4세트에서 상대방 선수의 모선을 딱 주겠는데 우주모함이 나올 때 뭐지 하면서 희비가 엇갈렸던 것 같아요. 네. 그 마지막 병력 교전에서 이기고 나서 왠지 모르겠는데 그냥 제가 트로피를 들고 있는 내 모습을 상상 하고 있더라고요.
둘이 다 찢어봤죠 선수. 너무 뛰어나요. 역장이 없어요 역장이. 본인적으로
시원하게 마무리하기로 최강이 맹독충.
박수는 하셔서 정리니까 본진으로 들어가는 박수 선수. 더 기다리는 게 낫는데 박수. 지금 더 기다려야 돼요.
지금 전황은 장민철 선수에게 좀 나쁘지
장민철 선수. 장사정이 다 잡혔기 때문에 장민철은 미래가 없고 박수호는 일벌레 같은 체제.
다들 아시다시피 WCG도 우승하고 블리즈컨도 우승하고 기세가 가장 좋잖아요. 그래서 쉽지 않은 상대라고 생각했어요. 아무래도 마지막 3세트가 아닐까 싶어요. 스팀 팩 먹고 이제 싸우는 순간이 가장 중요했던 것 같은데 그때 규종 형이 해줬던 말이 있어요. 그 스팀팩을 한번 쓰고 딱 끝나는 순간 있잖아요. 그 끝나는 순간까지 정말 많이 잡아야 된다.
이 문성원 선수의 이 한 번에 이렇게 생겼어요.
그 사람은 진짜 날아갔고요. 너무나 멀게
해병 돌격 산계.
자, 그 희망을 짓밟아버리는 문성원 선수. 두 분의 입이 더 빠른 것 같습니다. 지금 두 선수보다. 자, 고도로 달았어요, 고도. 이거 막았고, 잠깐 쫓고. 박병 안으로 들어가죠. 박선수. 정종의 고솔로 왜 안 나오죠? 정종의 고솔로 뭐하죠?
2011년도 뚜렷한 개인의 성적을 못 내고 있었는데 이렇게 연말에 좋은 기회가 찾아왔으니까 최선을 다해서 우승할 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
이번에도 마찬가지로 저희 팀원들이 다 같이 도와주면은 결승전도 문제 없을 것 같아요. 이게 슬레어스 테란이라는 것을 보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
(2011) 블리자드 컵 파이널 2011년을 화려하게 빛낸 챔피언들의 대격돌.
This is the Blizzard Cup Finals, the last GSL tournament of the year. I am Artosis, and with me is not Tasteless. It is in fact John, the translator.
Actually, I know many of you think I'm John, but I'm just
블리즈컨의
John's
쌓이는 전투.
handsome twin brother,
새로운
James.
테란
Oh,
영웅.
you're James the translator. I gotta say, I knew something was up.
Yep.
You are looking so much better than John and translating better than he's ever done.
Oh, he's disgraced to our family. He's just a nerd in family, and
That's it, man.
I'm the handsome one.
You
And
are certainly the handsome one today.
I like my soju shaken, not stirred.
Oh, Double O John,
I'm not John.
Double O James.
You can call me Jim.
Oh, that's why you call
Yeah.
yourself James. I get it. I figured they were
Yeah.
both just J names.
He's still my brother, so you're his friend, then you're my friend. But it doesn't work all the way around.
I see. All right. Well, look at this. It's absolutely epic. DRG against MMA. The doors are opening, and there they are. MMA, one of the greatest Terrans in the world, the only person that seems to be able to take down MVP, and then DRG, the master of Zerg. Right now, I think most people put him even above Leenock or Nesty.
Yeah, let's face it, Leenock and ST didn't make it final, and DongRaeGu did.
That's right, John. It's pretty epic so far. John, take it away, man.
올 시즌 한 해를 마무리하는 2011 블리자드컵 내노라는 10명의 선수들이 이선자가 되었지만 이제 남은 선수는 단 2명.
So 10 players participate Blizzard Cup, and only 2 players remain. MVP DongRaeGu and Slayers MMA.
다시 한번 이 두 선수에게 뜨거운 박수 부탁드립니다.
I'm surprised that so many people still have present despite IU performances ended. It's our caster Lee In-hwan.
네, 오늘은 가장 추운 날씨에도 불구하고 입추에 여지없이 세종대학교 대학원을 가득 메워주신 여러분께 다시 한번 진심으로 감사의 말씀을 드리겠습니다. 오늘
Thank you all for coming here today despite it being the coldest day this year.
여러분에게 뜨거운 경기로 보답을 할 것을 이 자리에
And I'm sure MMA and DongRaeGu will compensate you with the best matches possible.
나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
We're going to have a little interview with the players.
동래구 박수호
First, we're
선수입니다.
going to be interviewing MVP DongRaeGu.
네, 자 박수호 선수 GSL 그리고 여타 이벤트전에서 우승을 경험한 적은 있습니다. 하지만 GSL에서만큼은 GSL 공식전에서만큼은 불운이라는 수식어와 함께 그다지 명성에 걸맞지 못한 성적을 보여줬었는데 그래서 이번 결승전에 나서는 각오가
So
나왔던
you have won GSTL and other event matches, but this is your first GSL final.
기회가 왔으니까 이 기회 꼭 잡도록 하겠습니다.
This is a very valuable opportunity for me, so I'm going to do my best,
이어서 문성원
perform
선수
best I
문성원
can,
선수는
and win this.
GSL에서 우승을 경험한 바 있고 그리고 역시 이번 공식전에서도 남다른 좀 욕심이 날 것 같습니다. 소감 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
And let's hear how MMA feels.
올라가게 돼서 너무 기쁘고요. 그리고 모든 선수분들까지 다 오시니까 굉장히 떨리지만 좋은 경기로 보답하겠습니다.
It's an honor to be on such big stage, and I'm really glad that all the players are present here. And I'm going to do my best and show show great
박수호 선수
matches.
얘기를 좀 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 상대 문성원 선수, 박수호 선수가 생각하는 문성원 선수.
And we're going to be
어떤
asking
선수입니까?
DongRaeGu what he thinks of MMA.
테란 중엔 거의 서구 중 제일 잘한다는 선수라고 생각하고 있고, 네.
I think he's the best TVZ player,
꼭 이겨야 되지 않을까 싶어요.
and I really think I should be able to win this
자,
guy.
그렇게 강력한 지금
become a
문성원
true
선수인데
top serve player.
문성원 선수를 맞이해서 오늘 전체적인 경기의 컨셉에 대해서 조금 말씀을 해주실 수 있으시겠습니까?
Could you tell us of your concept today?
네, 여러 번 노림수를 쓸 생각입니다.
알겠습니다.
As I mentioned before in the interview, I'm going to be doing some little sneaky
자, 이어서
stuff.
문성원 선수 역시 박수호 선수가 테란전에서 엄청난 승률을 기록하고 있고 웬만해서는 테란전에서 박수호 선수가 패배하는 거 보기가 쉽지 않습니다. 부담스럽지 않습니까?
네, 부담스럽지만 지금 저거 중에 가장 최고의 선수라고 생각해요. 이 선수를 이겨야 저거를 이겼다고 말할 수 있을 것 같아요. 저 오늘 보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
He's a great Zerg player, especially in ZBT. Therefore,
자, 역시
you can
문성원
only
선수
say that you beat a Zerg
드리도록 하겠습니다.
after you have beaten
박수호
DongRaeGu.
선수를 상대하기 위해서 오늘 특별히 들고 나온 전략이나 컨셉을 조금만
Is there
공개해
any special
주시면요.
strategy you can give us hint
원래
about?
하던 대로 할 거고요. 박수호 선수가 초반 러쉬로 끝낼 거라고 생각했는데 저는 10분 안에 끝낼 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
10분이라고 했습니다.
I'm going to be doing as I normally do, And DongRaeGu mentioned that he's going to go for early games. And my answer to that is I'm going to end the games within 10 minutes.
첫 세트가 굉장히 힘들겠지만 첫 세트만 따내면 4대0로 생각하고
I think the first set will be most difficult, but should I win that, I think it will be 4-0. Otherwise, it will be really difficult.
가 이제 관건이라는 말씀이신 것 같은데 4대0 혹은 뭐 세트가 좀 불리하더라도 승리는 자신하십니까? 예. 알겠습니다. 자, 이어서
So even though it's going to be difficult, MM is confident that he's going to win eventually.
결승전 스코어 몇 대 몇
And
예상하십니까?
what is DongRaeGu's expected score? I also feel that should I win the first set, it will be 4-0 for me.
두 선수 모두 첫 세트에 대한 이제 중요성을 언급했는데 과연 두 선수의 바람대로 경기가 4대0으로 좀 원사이드하게 끝날지 아니면 7세트까지 가는 접전이 펼쳐질지 잠시 후에 경기를 하도록
So we should soon see whether it will be 4-0 like the players expect, or will it be 7 sets and become an epic final.
각오 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
이렇게 추운 날씨에 많은 분들 와주셔서 너무 감사드리고요.
Thank you everyone for coming today despite it's really cold today. And I'm going to do my best to make this the most memorable match of GSL so far.
자, 박수호 선수 마찬가지입니다. 많은 팬분들에게 한 말씀 그리고 결승전에 나서는 각오 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
여기까지 오신 팬분들 너무 감사드리고요.
Thank you for all the fans who came here to support me. And I'll do my best to win this.
자, 2011 블리자드컵 대망의 결승전 과연 어떤 선수가 승리를 거두고 우승컵을 하늘 높이 들어 올릴지 모든 준비는 끝이 났습니다. 2011 대망의 결승전 블리자드컵 결승전 여러분의 여러분과 같은 환호와 박수!
So we're going to begin the final at last, and I'm going to be switching seats with Tastosis.
All right, thank you so much, John. John will be leaving us now. He's going to be replaced by Tasteless. Some of you may have heard of this guy. He's a pretty good co-commentator as far as I'm concerned.
I'm back.
Hey, it's you.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
I'm going to have to turn up my volume a little bit, Artosis. I can barely hear myself. Is this one up here?
Yes.
Welcome to the GSL Blizzard 2011 Cup. It has been a real treat this entire year. So awesome. And we got an amazing finals here, guys. DongRaeGu against Slayers MMA. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. A lot of people predicting MMA to take it, but as the day has gone forward, more predictions have come out of the woodwork for DRG. Absolutely could go either way. Guys, get on Twitter, hashtag the GSL, retweet what I just tweeted. Tweet at Tasteless and myself. He's calling me Tasteless and Artosis. Let's get this trending.
Yeah, I want this trending. Last time we got it worldwide.
Big
Number 4.
cheers to everyone at Barcrafts, by the way. Guys, tweet it. Go on your cell phones. Pass those phones around.
If you're at a Barcraft, finish your beer right now.
And get another one because it's almost time.
I want nerds blacking out before we get to the final game. That way you'll have to watch again the second time. So we have, I think, one of the more even matches coming into this. It's actually really impressive. I think it could go either way. I'm not entirely sure. And it's going to be pretty fun to see how this turns out.
You
As
look
can see,
slick.
I am Taste Tuxless, and you are
Artoxis?
Artoxis? I don't know. I bungled.
Together we are Tuxtosis.
Tuxtosis, the Tuxedo Archon. Hope you guys
The
enjoy.
handsome Archon, more like it.
Yeah, right now, this is about as dressed up as I have ever been. Yeah, we got some James Bond stuff going on right here with this look. That was very sweet of GOM to give us that award.
Yes.
We did not know we were about to get that until, I think, earlier, like 2 days ago. They're like, you need to show up with in a tuxedo. I'm like, what? Really? Oh.
It's very sweet of them.
Very sweet. Thank you. We love you guys at GOM.
Flattering.
We love you guys. And also great work, Jay, doing the translation throughout. That's our producer. That's the guy that talks in our ear. Because as you guys can see, John was on the floor. But enough about that stuff. On to this game, Artosis. Your predictions.
I think it all comes down to the first couple maps. I think that if DRG takes the first couple maps, it's his. Absolutely his. 4-0, 4-1, something like that. Really. But I feel like if MMA can take one of those first maps, it definitely can go 4-3 for MMA. Maybe even a 4-2 for MMA. It's gonna. I mean, there's so much pressure going on. It's the last tournament of the year. It's the Blizzard Cup. It's branded by Blizzard. I mean, you want to win this tournament.
Yeah, a lot is on the line to win this. Talk about going out with a bang this year. To lose this, you had been so close to being a champion. MMA already winning one GSL. He wants another. DRG is, of course, hungry for victory as well.
Yes.
And I think you're right with your analysis that it'll probably come down to the first few games, since I think they are pretty even. If one guy's up 2-0, I don't see the other guy coming back with the next 3 wins. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And now we have to remember that a practice partner of DRG's is GOMTV. GOMTV is, I mean, the reason why GOMTV played so well against Leenock is because he practiced nonstop with DRG. So that is actually kind of big in his favor. I would actually put GOMTV from the TVTs that we saw from him in the finals against Leenock a couple weeks ago. There's no question in my mind that GOMTV has the most brilliant TVZ in the world at this moment. So MMA is going to have to have leveled up. I mean, obviously he played very well in his group, had Leenock and Nesty in it. 2 of the best 3 Zergs in the world, basically, along with DRG. But I am feeling slightly DRG-ish in this one, Tasteless.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. We were talking beforehand in between the award ceremony and this, and I was saying, gosh, I feel like there's actually a pretty high chance of DRG taking today. That's the way I feel at this moment, especially after seeing the way DRG was playing.
Even maps aside, man, because maps, they mean a lot, but they don't mean everything. DRG is my guess for this.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good guess. If I was a gambling man, that's probably what I'd bet on. But then again, MMA did beat MVP. That's a little weird and a little bit unexpected.
A different matchup, but he did use just a bunch of Marines to do it. So, I mean, I guess that means his TVZ's good, right?
Well, you know what it shows us is that as good as MVP is, MMA for the first time had a better build order selection than MVP did going into a match. MVP is always the guy where we say, all right, in the best of 7, he knows exactly how many times to cheese, exactly how many times to do a fast expand. But then, oddly enough, MMA had such a good read on him. He knew when to cheese. He knew when to do a standard game.
I don't know how he keeps doing it.
I don't know.
But you know what? DRG is not a player that I think of the right selection of strategy. I think of him as someone who's mechanically brilliant and always knows what to do with his mutas. And it's not just mutalist micro, because I hear that thrown around a lot, like, oh, DRG has great mutalist micro. I don't even think it's that. Of course, it's quite good. But I think that, he knows the patterns of how to harass with mutas. He really, truly does, because there's actually set patterns. Like in StarCraft 1, a lot of pro gamers knew about this, where there's actually this pattern that you're supposed to go in that's going to maximize how strong your mutas are.
Yeah, a slower, more dramatic version of that was carriers in StarCraft 1. Once you get the carriers out, how do you ping-pong them around the map? It's not random, and I think you're dead on. He knows exactly when to go to the expansion first, then hit the watchtowers, then turn back around, poke towards one of the corners of the main, and take out a depot there.
Oh, absolutely.
And it really starts to wear down the players. Now, here's the guy we were just talking about, DRG. He's so solid.
Yes.
And he is one of the more rapidly improving Zergs. I know we saw Leenock get that award, but honestly, I think DRG is just a step behind as far as speed of improvement.
Leenock did do much better in the last GSL season. And in fact, of course, don't forget, he did win that MLG, but DRG knocked Leenock in the loser bracket in the MLG and then had food poisoning before he played him the second time. So, I mean, I personally am more of a fan of DRG's style. I cannot wait to see how he plays here, because I think it's just going to be completely solid awesomeness. But of course, there's no doubt that he is going to have mixed in some crazy builds as well. You have to. In an important match like this, you have to throw off your opponent at least a little bit.
As you can see, it is full here in actually the same venue we used last time. Now it's so packed that even the top row is up. Even even the sides
have
some
back of our heads.
We could even have those 2 guys from the Muppets over here on the corner, those old guys, the hecklers. Not even enough room for them to be up here. So many seats have been taken. Now here is the Terran player, mentored by Slayer's Boxer. We have MMA.
That is right. He is 1% for a certain pretty sick, as we see here. He is a frightening TVZ player. He's definitely one of the best. DRG did put him up at the best. I believe he said that, but I don't know, man. We'll see. I think practicing with Jack G plus whatever other Terrans that DRG has is going to be really good. DRG very well may have the best solid form ZVT in the world. And that's when someone is the best in the world at something, it is so hard to prepare for their style.
Now, you know, one funny thing though is that because MMA's already showed us that he is a master build order selection, he might be able to cheese DRG out of new games, and I think they're evenly matched enough.
I think that
if that does occur,
we'll
he's
definitely
have
see at
some
least
behind him.
we'll see at least a cheese or two from MMA. He definitely does mix in some very strong two barracks play every now and then.
Yeah.
And sometimes some really heavy harassment.
By the way, guys, get a year-long ticket. Christmas is coming up. It'll be a great gift.
If you want a white Christmas, get a year-long ticket.
Yeah. Get it for yourself, get it for a gift.
You get a white Christmas.
Now, as you can see here, here's the record for some of these guys on all these maps. Nobody with below 50% wins on any map. So it looks like nobody really has a weak map here.
That's right. But those last two, as we see 50% against 100%, definitely maps that MMA is very comfortable on. The first map, pretty overwhelmingly in the favor of DRG, Crossfire.
Yeah, if you notice, if it does get to the last two games, I mean, MMA did not lose a single game on either of those two maps there. Yeah. So it's going to be very, very important for DRG.
Those are nice TVZ maps.
To do enough damage early on so that he hopefully won't have to, assuming he wins this, he won't have to face off later on in the tournament on those maps.
We see that they have faced twice in the GSTL, both taking one there. This is such a sick matchup, Tasteless. Again, any finals match in the Blizzard Cup would have been absolutely sick.
But to have these two, we really can't ask for a better finals. So, here's the question. Will DongRaeGu become the second Zerg legend, the post-Nesty? Or will MMA be the man to earn the fourth consecutive Terran win?
Yeah, maybe the post that Nesty hangs his hat on, Tasteless.
I know, geez. The post that I got nothing. I was going to say a spike he puts under his head on, but that's not a post. So, all right. We'll get the ball rolling here
soon. The post he built his fence out of.
So, head-to-head here, we're very close to starting this game. A lot is on the line. This is like the last big bang here of this tournament. I mean, this year, actually.
It's the last, I mean, there is up and down next week, but that's something completely different, obviously. This is the last epicness of this year. It's the last time that you're going to hear Tastosis casting this year as well.
That's right.
So guys, get your fill right now. Turn up your headset.
All right, so get ready. Head-to-head here. DRG against MMA in the 2011 Blizzard Cup. Hosted by GOMTV.net. This is the GSL. Looks like the game should be loading very soon here, so we're going to get this going, and it is on. So, on to the game. In the upper right starting location on the map Crossfire, one of the best Zergs in the world, perhaps the best.
MVP DongRaeGu.
MVP DRG.
DongRaeGu. And there's a sentry holding DongRaeGu's head. Oh, man. Now in the bottom left starting location, mentored by Slayer's Boxer. He's already won one GSL. Can he do it again? His ID is...
Slayers MMA.
Slayers MMA.
Such a focused young player.
Yeah.
DRG as well, making a barracks outside of his main base. That's just out of scouting the drone scout area. So just to scare him a little bit.
Now also note, DRG probably a little bit concerned now that he knows he's MVP actually got taken out by MMA. Probably saying to himself, well, he did do a lot of cheese. What is he going to do against me? Is he going to play that kind of solid bamboo style, or is he going to go for more tricky style? Right now, with the barracks being hidden outsider, the Zerg is probably going to panic, especially after seeing that MVP series.
Yeah, and in fact, I bet you he's going to go ahead and get that pool relatively soon here. Does make 2 drones, 3 drones now after the hatch. He's not scared even a little bit. Finds that barracks, an important part. And he also did see, of course, the gas. So he is going to be getting ready for whatever he thinks is going to come out, whether it is reactored Hellions, which it probably is, or possibly even a Reaver. But probably Hellions, because that's what people do in the GSL.
Yeah, that's the most common build nowadays. Now remember, guys, it's easy for the Zerg to get the third base. A little bit harder for the Terran to get the third base. But every base after that for the Zerg becomes a little bit more difficult because he just isn't really able to expand without being right next to the Terran.
Well, a couple drones being sent down there. We do see it is a reactored Hellion opening. Of course, this build is just so popular, and it's a great, great build for this map. As you see, that natural's very wide open. The ramp is kind of in the front of it. So you're definitely going to need, as a Zerg player, to make a couple spine crawlers, have some speedlings, have some queens. It's just a general annoyance. It's going to be very hard to actually spread any creep, and thus also very hard to take any third base really quickly. So
yeah,
a perfect decision in openings by both players so far. Very textbook.
Looks like DRG is going to get the bare minimum amount of Zerglings because he wants to maximize his drone count as much as possible. 4 is generally enough to deal with almost anything. Now when the Hellions come out, he'll probably have to get a few more. He'll probably have to get a spine crawler. Actually, I know he'll have to get a spine crawler. And that may also end up delaying the creep if the Hellions park outside there.
Yep. Well, Hellions on the way. Probably end up making 4. We do sometimes see more, especially if he has some funny timing planned. Of course, on this map, this is actually a map that has produced more epic Terran vs. Zerg games than most any other maps. We have so many interesting games here. Even though you look at the architecture, you're like, this is a hard map for Zerg. But having a...
I actually thought that... is that just our monitor, or is that actually going on? Is that actually reality? Oh my god. All right, I don't know what caused that hiccup there.
That's
all right. Anyways, so
we're going to turn off the downloads. All right, now. Hellions starting to do a little bit of harassment. Haven't really killed anything yet. Good defense so far by DRG. Have a starport going right away.
And I love this build here because going mass Hellion like this, then switching into the starport.
Yeah, and
getting the Banshee.
Definitely. If he does go ahead and make any roaches, that Banshee obviously going to be very effective against the roaches. And if you can damage the queens at all with the Hellions, you know, a lot of times they micro back and forth, take some hits on the queen because Hellions don't really kill queens. But then a Banshee coming in against some damaged queens, absolutely, you can do a lot of damage with that. So a very cool build so far. And don't forget, he also made a Marauder. And that's something that you can really use to deal some additional damage. And here he goes, going to use that Marauder quite a bit. And look, damaging the queen. Notice how he's targeting down that queen. DRG may or may not know why he's doing that.
Yeah, now that's a pretty tough one to tell. It's a pretty hard situation to read, unlike some of these other situations that we've seen here. He's saying, wait a minute, is he trying to do too much damage to my queen because he's going to send a Banshee in later?
Yeah. And MMA right now also getting another command center. So he is going tech and harassment and economy all at once. It's well done because he's going to be pretty safe, but we do have roaches on the way now.
And note he's stockpiling the Banshees. He's not sending them out all at once. He wants to have enough so that there's this element of surprise as he comes in.
It's going to be 12 roaches, Tasteless, as well as a Baneling Nest. Looks like DRG going to go for a very strong aggression. It's almost all in. He definitely has to get a lot of damage done with it. The Banshee going to do a great job hitting roaches, but against that many roaches, I mean, all they have to do is break down just enough to let the Lings that are running up there so quickly in to get the Banelings in. This is going to be absolutely hard for MMA to stop.
And the truth of the matter is, with MMA getting that third command center, he may not be prepared.
The Hellions going home right now, but they should be trying to harass these Zerglings. And in fact, he's just going to go up that ramp, and that's right choice, man. Notice this building wall. Why is he continuing to make the building wall? Yes.
I don't know.
Well, it's because he wants to slow this down. He needs to just slow this down. That's all he needs to do. The Banshee's doing a great job right now, but again, there are so many roaches right here running up.
The wall in is enough.
Oh my God. And he's staying on top of that depot quite a bit so far. A lot of Banelings coming up.
Banelings going over the depot. Now going inside into the main. Roaches now destroying so many Marines. It's not clear if MMA is going to take too much damage from this. The Banshees are helpful, but there are so many roaches and so many SCVs now being destroyed.
Yeah, those SCVs just not doing anything against the roaches, just holding them still kind of. And in fact, dropping more and more mules In goes DRG, trying to target whatever he can with his units, and behind this, making 10 drones, so he wants to get way ahead here.
All right, so what he wants to do is not end the game, but cripple the Terran enough that once the Zerg goes back into standard play, he's going to be 2 behind.
Oh boy, he killed 22 SCVs with that. As you can see in the supply, hugely in the favor of DRG, 38 to 60.
Interesting decision here to get the double evolution chamber. I would have expected something else, you know.
You know, he is so strongly ahead right now, economically speaking, but he's got to be careful. You saw, you know, there's some Banshees out there. He has to still play carefully. He can't take a 3rd base right now because the 3 Banshees will absolutely destroy it. So I kind of like going for a lot of upgrades. Uh-oh. Cloak on the Banshees. And nice transfusion there.
No, he can actually just get the Spire. And he will.
Bad news right now for DRG. These cloaked Banshees making the comeback possible right now. So many spores going down all over the place. And in fact, he's going after spores.
I don't know. Yeah, the thing is, Banshees do damage so quickly that I don't even actually know if these spores are going to be of much use. Not to mention, he can actually just maneuver to different locations, even if the spores do get up.
Well, these Banshees can go in the main base right now, and all they have to do is kill off a few of these spores before they hatch, and they can do things like target drones, target expansions, and whatnot. Nice cloak there, pulling it away from that queen before it dies. And
there goes the spore crawler over here to the left, but he gets the queen. Now getting more drones. So he could even target down a hatchery, theoretically. Talk about turning this game around with so many workers being killed here now for DRG, despite him knowing that this was coming.
The cloak completely catching him off guard, though. This is very bad for DRG. As we see, his supply has now plummeted. After getting way ahead, he had no detection ready for these Banshees, and they've already killed 4 queens. The 5th one coming very close to dying.
And he's sending Marines now as well.
Oh, God.
Marines with combat shields moving out. Note he backs up over here. He may want to just have the Banshees target down the spine crawler. With the spine crawler gone, the Marines can then get inside the front.
Oh, this is so bad for DRG. Just a spine crawler sitting there, and they will take it down oh so easily. That is a lot of Marines, losing only 2 of their number. And what is DRG to do now? Pretty much nothing.
I think that's actually maybe the end. GG!
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Epic comeback. Researching that cloak upgrade was just so clutch, so intelligent of MMA, keeping his cool. After losing 22 SCVs, he comes back, and on the back of 3 cloaked Banshees, completely dismantles DRG.
I am really impressed with that. I mean, when you consider how much damage DRG dealt for the first game in a best of 7 to have the game end like that, that is a terrible feeling.
It is. And
you
as
can
we
actually
see, he does not feel good about that.
He is very upset.
Here's the
about
thing:
that.
when you kill 22 SCVs with that Roach Baneling Ling attack, and you're making 10 drones behind, and you already have a good 4 queens. Let me tell you how you feel as a Zerg. You feel like you've already won the game.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, so I guess that this game is mine. Excellent. I just destroyed him with my strategy choice. But then MMA comes back. That's a terrible, gut-wrenching feeling. Did not have those spores, and that's something that he could have easily added in. He just didn't happen to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. This certainly looked bad for DRG. Now, it's not that he lost, it's how he lost, and the fact that he has to keep in like that perfect mindset throughout this entire thing. You know, that's pretty tough. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of strategy to expect from DRG in the next game, because that was not exactly an all-in. It could be if he kept doing it, but then he said, no, you know, I've done enough damage to just play a safe game.
It was great decision-making. If he had just gone ahead, gotten an evolution chamber as he was droning up during the attack, and made a couple spores just for vision, he had enough queens to hold the Banshees off long enough to get more anti-Banshee.
Yeah.
Not to kill them, but to hold them off.
To deflect it properly.
I mean, just instantly losing all the queens and then losing a bunch of spores that he's trying to make. I mean, that was the end of the story. So that was like a small mistake by DRG that resulted in a loss for a game that he really feels he should have won.
Great games. I think we're going to be going on game number 2 pretty soon. You might want to take off that thing. What are these things they make us put around our waist? The giant blindfold or my girdle or whatever it is? That thing was killing me during that cast.
Oh, really?
It was so good to have that thing up. It's so hot in here. There's so many lights on us.
There are a lot of lights.
Guys, if you're at a Barcraft, get another beer. Get on Twitter. tweet this.
Take a shot every time Tasteless takes a piece of clothing off.
That's right. Until eventually, it's just me and my Chippendales bow tie on. But get out and get on Twitter. Seriously, hashtag GSL.
Last time you did it,
you guys kicked ass last time you did it. It was amazing. Do it again for us. I want this on Twitter. I want this going worldwide. If you don't have a Twitter account, please make it. If there's one that you could do for us, Artosis and myself, please do that and add us on Twitter. Call me Tasteless. He's Artosis. Now, I am assuming right now that the coach has been talking to DRG.
Of course, you
about
gotta look for his mindset. That's what's important here. His mindset has to remain pure. You know, it's hard. As I was saying, DRG needs to win the first couple maps, and losing that first one after an advantage, with DRG already knowing that is one of the very crucial maps in this set. That's terrible, man. You can see in his face even. He looks a little downtrodden.
Very rarely do I want to analyze the player's facial expressions, but he looks totally different from when he was going into this first game.
So, Tal'Darim Altar is next. It's a great TBC map. I'm so excited to see what they have in store for us.
It's going to be sick, man. I cannot believe how good MMA was to actually recover from that. Now, here's a question for you, Artosis, as an analyst. Do you feel that it is that was more MMA's genius or DRG's mistake?
It was without any doubt DRG's mistake, but it takes a genius like MVP to keep his cool to pull off that comeback.
All right. Well, looks like we're going to be going into game number 2. DRG Azurk against MMA at Terran. Who will win in the final big bang here of esports this year? The Blizzard 2011 World Cup, or Cup, excuse me, I don't know why I call it the Blizzard Cup. I'm not good at this, guy.